The 76ers held their annual blue and white scrimmage today, and the fans are fired up about what Joel Embiid looked like. We'll take a look at some really cool footage on that. Also, the 76ers pick up an athletic wing, but does he have any chance of making the team? And last but not least, Nick Nurse talked about a new offensive look that was teased today, and honestly, it could probably change the way we think about things. So we'll take a look into that and a whole bunch more right here on Philly Take with RB, but welcome into the show. I'm RB. Do me a favor, hit that like button and hit that notification bell. Go down below, find the bell, and hit that thing on because you don't want to miss any of the content. We have streamed every preseason game. We will cover every game this season, and you know how it goes, man. Coverage 24/7. It all starts today with the Sixers hosting their annual blue and white scrimmage. But before we jump into that, the Sixers go and sign Marjon Beauchamp to an Exhibit 10 deal. Now, according to Keith Pompey, it is not actually official yet, but it says if everything goes as expected, Beauchamp will sign a contract with the Sixers. He is 6'6", 6'7". He's a small forward, and he had some pretty good numbers in the G League Ignite before going into the draft, but unfortunately has not been able to carve out a role on any team in his career. Doc Rivers didn't like him, ended up benching him at the end of his Milwaukee tenure. Then he was traded to the Clippers, didn't do much there. And then he was picked up by the New York Knicks last year, but also really didn't do that much. Now, on the strength side, he's a pretty good defender. He's versatile, can guard multiple positions, good athleticism, good upside. But on the offensive side, he really has not found a consistent shot. But in terms of the defensive side, a lot of versatility, like I said, a lot of upside. And if he can continue to find his jump shot, then maybe he will find a role for himself. But as of right now, it looks like he's going to be out of the league or maybe have to go overseas if his next place doesn't work out for him. So I would presume that he'll be with the Delaware Bluecoats. We'll see how it works out for Marjon Beauchamp, but give me your thoughts on him down below. And speaking of the Delaware Bluecoats, the Sixers held their annual blue and white scrimmage at the Delaware Bluecoats Arena today in Delaware. And if you don't know what that is, pretty much in summation, it is a scrimmage that happens before the season where the fans can go out, they can see the starters play against the bench guys, and it's just like a up-tempo practice in a way. You know, they're like doing 5-on-5s, and then at the end, you know, the players sign autographs, take pictures, whatever. I did not end up attending this. However, there were people there today who were sending me footage, and I'm going to let you take a look at that here in just a second, but shout out to my guy, JJ, Play-by-Play with JJ. Make sure you check him out. He was there in attendance. He was sending me a lot of cool stuff. But for the blue and white scrimmage today, the starting five for the 76ers was Tyrese Maxey, VJ Edgecombe, Kelly Oubre, Dominic Barlow, and Joel Embiid. Now, I don't know if Grimes got much run at all. I don't even think he played that much. I mean, they said he was there. Jared McCain was there with a cast on his hand, and you know, Dominic Barlow, it seems like, is getting a lot of love from Nick Nurse, and deservedly so, based on the way he has looked, especially as a rebounder in these first couple of preseason games. But my biggest question, and what I wanted to see, is whether or not Joel Embiid is going to play in the scrimmage. And he did. And he moved around. And he actually looked pretty good. Here's a couple pictures from the Sixers page. VJ Edgecombe with a dunk, and Joel Embiid, of all people, dunking the basketball. Now, again, I'm not looking at this game or this scrimmage like, oh my gosh, look at this creativity on offense and look at what they're doing here. And oh my gosh, they're going to be unstoppable, the best offense in the league. But I wanted to see how Joel moved around. Okay. And first off, again, shout out to my guy, JJ, who sent me this video, and I posted it on all of our social pages. So make sure you're following us on all social media platforms. But take a look at this. Here's a little two-man game. Maxey Embiid, back to Embiid. He goes up with the reverse. I mean, first off, let's take this back again. First thing I noticed here was, one, how nimble Joel Embiid looks. Like, the guy definitely looks like he dropped more weight from last year. And I know he looked like that when we saw him last year, but I mean, he looks to be in really good shape. Like, over the years, you can't deny the fact that whatever nutrition or training or whatever he's doing is helping. Now, when I look at the knee, I didn't see any brace on it. I didn't see any brace on Joel Embiid's knee. That's the second thing I noticed. And then look at this drive to the basket. Like, he doesn't look sluggish and slow and, you know, just like a dominant traditional center. Like, this was a great play, and I know he's going up against the backups, but again, like, this two-man game has to be lethal. When we've seen moments where it's clicking, it looks really good. Here we have Tyrese Maxey, Joel Embiid, and VJ Edgecombe involved in a play. Maxey's going to get trapped. He finds Joel, and look at this touch pass right here. Boom, one bouncer. VJ beats his guy and then slams it down. I mean, it's just beautiful. Beautiful offense. The chemistry is growing. It is starting to blossom. And we're going to talk about this a little more in a few minutes. But ladies and gentlemen, like, what do you think about the 76ers offense? Like, how should they run? What's the most optimal way for the Sixers to get the best out of this core? Give me your thoughts down below on what you believe is the best way to optimize this offense. I'll give you my thoughts on that. We'll take a look at some more Embiid footage, some Maxey footage, and more on the other side. But first, a shout out to our sponsor of today's video. Sleeper is a fantasy sports and real money gaming app that is taking things to the next level. They are the best one-stop shop for all your sports needs. You can chat on games in real time with other users. You can get the latest news, scores, and alerts right at your fingertips. And you can play in fantasy leagues and win real money on picks contests. With Sleeper's Picks, all you have to do is choose anywhere from 2 to 8 of your favorite players. This could be pregame, live game, or even across different sports. And then you just pick the over or under, more or less than the predicted stats. That's it. You can make these entries in less than 30 seconds with a $1 minimum entry. And on Sleeper, if your picks win, you can get up to 1,000 times your payout. So right now, download the Sleeper app, use the promo code PhillyTake, and get up to a $100 match on your first deposit. And right now, as a special promo, Sleeper is actually offering a free $20 entry with no deposit required. All you have to do is sign up and use the code PhillyTake to claim your free promo. Terms and conditions apply. See Sleeper's terms of use for details. Currently operational in over 25 states. Check out Sleeper today. In terms of this offense, I think they have to play a lot more up-tempo. They have to play quicker, faster, moving the ball. We saw that back in 23 before Joel got hurt. Like, Nurse was really starting to bring out the best of these players. Embiid's assist numbers were up. His rebounds were up. They were really playing as more of a guard-heavy offense. Now, again, that doesn't mean Embiid can't have nights where he drops 30, but it just has to look a bit different, especially with how the game is changing, right? Like, you don't really have that dominant big man anymore. They're able to shoot a lot more, and they're able to play 5 out, things like that. But here's what we used to see from Joel Embiid. Like, this was MVP Embiid. And honestly, I am still glad to see it, right? Like, hit him with a couple jabs, go ISO. He's got Janai Broom on him, and he's just going to absolutely cook him, pop it up from the elbow. It's as easy as that. The Sixers offense still needs to incorporate things like this, just not 85% of the time. First off, it's just amazing to see Joel Embiid out here playing basketball again without a brace on his knee and just looking like he used to before. Again, we can't put too much stock into it, but a year ago, if you had told me that Joel would actually be moving around, running around, I don't know if I would have believed you. So it is nice to see. And in addition to that, we have Joel Embiid dunking the basketball. Here's the video from that picture that we saw from the Sixers. Here he is in the low post, and he's just going to fool the heck out of Drummond. And the fact that we saw Joel Embiid dunk the basketball, I don't know if I thought we'd ever see that again. Here's Tyrese Maxey. Whether Embiid's on the floor or not, I do believe Maxey will continue to take another step. This is just beautiful offense from Tyrese. He's going to take the screen from Joel. Little step back, boom. Not hesitating, not overthinking it, just getting to his spots. And I said it the other day, I think Maxey's best utilization is really as an assassin scorer. You know, don't let him have to worry about 5 different things. Give him the ball, let him go downhill, use that quick burst of speed, and get to where he needs to get to. The touch is looking great. I thought Nick Nurse dropped a couple interesting nuggets today. He says, quote, "We're trying to be a little versatile and interchangeable with who's down and who's up. The reality is that Joel likes to be up. He's going to be up a lot." So as I was just talking about with the guard-heavy offense, right? They've talked about 3-guard, 4-guard lineups. And I also said that Joel Embiid can't primarily dominate in the paint 90% of the time based on how the offense wants to run with all of the other pieces. And this could change when Paul George comes back. But for now, they do need to play different than they have before. And Andre Drummond said that in the training camp. They have been teasing a different style of offense. Now Nurse is saying that we could see Joel Embiid and Adem Bona on the floor together, because we saw a lot of that today, where Bona could even be in the paint. And Joel could be more of a shooter on the outside and a guy who can create his own, not just dominating in the paint 100% of the time, where everybody else is just standing around on the perimeter. Nurse says there's certainly some dump-offs to him that are high percentage plays. He will help the rebounding. He will help rim protection. We will see how it goes. So we might end up seeing Bona at the 5 and Joel Embiid at the 4. Can you believe it? I mean, that's pretty crazy. Nurse says there's a number of guys that we're trying to work into that power forward spot. Bona's just another one. So they can tell me that, Bona will be the power forward, but not really. He's looking like he'll be the backup center, but there might be times where the Sixers are going double big just to help with the rebounds, which I've said has to be a priority. Nurse says that Joel is one of our best, if not our best, three-point shooters. He is a legitimate offensive weapon that we need to utilize. That will create space for other guys to drive a bit. He's a good decision maker. I want him to make sure that he's running stuff with Grimes and VJ. We already know kind of where his body is at right now, and I think just putting too much on his plate could end up making things worse. But yeah, I think there could be a lot of pick and pop situations and just a lot of things that the Sixers could try to emulate from what the successful teams around the league have done. And it's because of the personnel they have and how many solid guards they have and different looks they can throw out there. So overall, it sounds like Nick Nurse is trying to be more creative. So it seems like the Sixers could have some tricks up their sleeve, but we'll just have to wait and find out. Give me your thoughts down below. What do you think is the best role for Joel Embiid? What is the best lineup combination? All your thoughts on that and more down below. As always, appreciate everybody for tapping in. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. That being said, I will catch you on the next one. Peace.